Today we are going to explore which destination were the most visited in 2025 and where people are expected to travel in 2026. Not based on hype alone, but on real prediction, trends, and major events people are looking forward to. So, welcome back to the Wayfinders. We are your hosts, Diana and Malcolm.
Hi Diana, it's so good to be back for 2026. I mean, 2025 ended on a high, so I'm hoping that the next destinations that we're predicted to see a lot of people traveling to are going to be as fun as the ones we saw in 2025.
Of course, there will be the usual ones.
Yeah.
A lot of European city, a lot of American countries, and a lot of, Japan and China. But there is a reason why they're so famous, so we are going to understand a little bit why they are famous and why a lot of people want to go there this year, at least. So, yeah, I think it will be fun.
I do think so. And just as you said, with a lot of the tried and tested destinations, there's a reason why everyone loves them. So I'm expecting when we look at the list of the most visited destinations in 2025, we're probably going to see, those names come up, but also see them in 2026. So what destinations do you have for us?
So we're gonna start with the countries, the most visited country in 2025. And the first one is France, with 85 to 90 million visitors. And probably is also due the fact that it was last year the Olympics games, so the post still a lot of tourists want to go there and visit the country, and also mainly for Paris, the main city of France. And then we have Spain, another European country, and it's just below France. A lot of people also want to go there, but especially for the islands and the beaches and the calm lifestyle that Spain always try to give to the tourists. And then we have the United States of America, and it's a mix of type of travel. We have the people that want to go there for business, because there are a lot of people that work in the United States, but also the national parks for the nature. There is that part of the United States that is really, really nice. And there are a lot of people that want to go and do the road tour, like with your car, and go there and visit all the United States. I think that is really, really cool.
I think what's interesting about the United States as well is that it's ranking third on our list. But if we're talking about landmass and absolute size of the country, it's a continent, literally, in comparison to France and Spain. So that is a testament to those strongholds of France and Spain as to show how very attractive they are for your average traveler.
Yeah, and if we remain in Europe, we have another country, which is Italy, especially for Rome, Venice, Florence, Milan, Naples, the famous cities, Italian city. But a lot of people now want to go to the south of Italy with Puglia and Sicily. And this is also because one of the UNESCO cities are always in the last few years in the south of Italy, and it creates a lot of interest to discover a little bit of the unknown part of Italy. And of course, the beaches in the south of Italy are really, really beautiful, especially in Sicily, and also in Sardinia. They are spectacular. So I understand why a lot of people want to go there.
Yeah. And I guess on that list, I think the next one you're probably going to speak about is Turkey as well, which is, of course, we've got to thank Istanbul as a location, because I feel like Istanbul is a place that a lot of people have on their list.
Yeah, if you love the cats, you just need to go there for the cats, because there are a lot of cats there. And also because it's interesting to see this type of city, because connected by a bridge. You have old Istanbul, let's say that, and a new Istanbul. So I think it's really cool to see this type of city. It's a contrast, so it's really nice to see. And also because it's not that pricey in comparison to, for example, Paris, Turkey, and also other countries near Europe are less pricey than Spain or Italy. So yeah. then we go to Mexico with 42 to 55 million visitors for 2025, which is not bad at all. And a lot of people go to Mexico, especially for the food and for the life that Mexico is full of colors. So I mean, we all want to go to Mexico at least once in our lifetime.
I think so. And it would be interesting because before I looked into Mexico City, I would have never known that it was that big of a travel destination. But knowing from the anthropology museum down to the food culture and the overall vibe of it, I'm not surprised that very many people love that city.
If we talk about another love, like we share this love, this is for China.
Yeah.
I mean, we never went there, but we really want to go there. And China is another country that attracts a lot of visitors every single year, with not just Beijing being the capital, but also other cities. Because, there is the food, there is just delicious, there is the tradition and all the temples and religions, a lot of things that can attract a person to go to China. But, fun enough, the most visited city in 2025 is not in this country. It's Bangkok with 30 million visitors. It's the most visited cities of the world of 2025. I mean, unexpected.
I'm shocked, but at the same time, kind of scared because it's not that Bangkok is a massive city.
No, it isn't.
So you've got to imagine this massive amount of 30 million visitors traveling to this city throughout a year, and it's the most visited city in the world. That's amazing. I'm pretty sure a large amount of them are Australians, but
yeah, probably.
But yeah, it is definitely one of those destinations that I can see is a must-do on a checklist when you're touring Asia.
I mean, there are many photographs that just show you how beautiful is the sea in Bangkok, and you're like, I really want to go there. I already imagine myself there doing nothing.
It's so true. And they've definitely got that, not only the sea, but the archipelago kind of islands, like the individual islands in the sea that really pop up and almost look like something outside Avatar. And I would say that I've not only seen that in Bangkok, but I've also seen pictures of that in mainland China and around Hong Kong as well, which, is interesting, yeah.
And talking about Hong Kong is the second city most visited in 2025. And I mean, why not go there? I mean, it's so full of things to do. And even though it's not that big of a city, also in the case, of course, it's more bigger than Bangkok, but still, it's not like you wouldn't expect that Hong Kong will be the second city most visited in 2025. Maybe London, which is our third city, we kind of expected. There are a lot of people that always go to London, especially for business, but also for, there is all these student type of visitor. They go there to learn the language. And also this could be one of the reasons also for Hong Kong, because in Hong Kong you speak English. And maybe a lot of Asian people go to Hong Kong to learn English. So maybe also this is the reason why it's on the second spot.
I honestly think so, but which is actually what shocks me about these cities, is that we're talking about the three most visited cities in the world last year, and all of them are not very large cities, which is astounding. So we're seeing a lot of people flocking to these cities that seem to almost give you a feeling of wonder and wanderlust, but they're not exactly the largest cities out there. I mean, 23 million visitors in London alone, 23 million visitors in Hong Kong, and 30 million visitors in Bangkok. It's amazing to see that that's like one of our trusted tourist destinations for last year.
If we're still in Europe, like it's not really Europe, because in the middle of Europe and Asia, we have Istanbul again. So as we said before, it's a beautiful city. and maybe we could go there this year if we are interested to see why it's so visited. And then we have Dubai. Dubai is like the New York of this part of our world, say like that. It's not surprising to see Dubai in this list. Of course, you can have the luxury type of travel or also the business travel, and it's just a global point for Europe, Asia, and also Africa, because it's just in the center of it. So.
Yes, and it is one of the cities that I've spent quite a bit of time in. I think I spent about a month in Dubai, and it's a very interesting city because if you walk, I almost describe it as a city of, if you get lost in the city and you walk too far, you'll end up in the desert. Because
that's for sure.
Yeah, because it's also it's evolving. It's a city that's constantly growing every year on year, and it's expanding more into the desert that's around it. So it is a wonderful, and also
into the water.
Yeah, and into the water. It's a lovely beach. There is a very lovely beach as well, which is very unique to have in a city like that. So I'd say, luxury speaking, it is probably one, if not the top destination to go for luxury shopping trips. And in general, I've seen a lot of business conducted in Dubai, especially in terms of big suppliers having offices. If you want to shop, you go to the old souk market, and if you want to do gold jewelry shopping, the souk market has that. So it's a very interesting city that's steeped in a lot of trading history.
And talking about history, we go back to Paris, which is also one of the most iconic cultural city worldwide. And maybe it's for the fashion, maybe it's for the art, maybe it's for the history, maybe it's for the food, or maybe because it's just such a romantic city. We don't know, but it's one of the most visited city of 2025. And maybe we don't really expect this one because we don't really talk about religion in this podcast, but Mecca is one of the most visited cities. And this is primarily to the religion's tourism, because every year there are a lot of pilgrims that go to Mecca to celebrate their religion. And I didn't expect to see this number for Mecca, but there are 18 million visitors go there every year, more or less. So that's a lot of people, especially for that time of period, because
Yeah. And what's shocking, or what's even more interesting about Mecca, is that those 18 million people, a good amount of them can end up going within the same week. And that's where we get those amazing videos of the amount of people flowing into Mecca. And it's honestly should be up there as one of the world's wonders in terms of people going down to one country. It's amazing to see.
You remain in awe by that, because it's weird maybe for a lot of people see this devotion to a religion or to a city important like that. So it's really interesting to know that a lot of people want to go to a city for this reason.
It's true.
And then we're going maybe to discover a new city. Then maybe we are going to talk about it in the next episode. Who knows? A little spoiler. This one is called Kuala Lumpur. It's an Asian hub. Maybe not a lot of people know about this city, but it seems that other people knows a lot about this city because it has 17 million visitors, at least last year, and a lot of people. This is a lot of people, a lot of people.
Oh yeah. I mean, 70 million visitors to an unknown city in the middle of Malaysia. I mean, this is unique, and as you said, it's probably one of the fastest growing Asian hubs. So that's one to keep an eye on, and maybe we'll be talking about it pretty soon.
And then we have the last two cities. They're pretty known. We have Tokyo, Japan. So we all love Tokyo. We all love Japan for many, many reasons. For the food, for the anime, for the temples, tradition,
technology, everything. Literally.
Everyone wants to go to Tokyo at least once.
Oh yeah.
And we go there with empty luggage, and we go back home with many more luggage.
Usually a lot of stuff that you probably don't need, but hey, that's why you go to Japan. It's
Yeah.
to be on the cutting edge of technology. It's to see the marvel of old societies and old monuments that have been around for ages. Or it could even just be I know that there's this type of tourism that you have in Japan where people will go and see old traditional methods of doing things that have never changed. It's one of the few cities or one of the few countries in general in the world, Japan, where you can have someone who's been a sake maker for hundreds of years. His family have been the ones who make this, and they've carried on generation to generation. So it's very unique.
Is a destination that I think that will be always on the top of the list. And we finish with New York City. I mean, we don't have to talk about New York. We all know why New York is just so visited for many reasons: business, for travel, for because it's New York. There are a lot of songs that talk about New York and why it's so special and magic. So New York is the last city of our list, but that doesn't mean that it's not interesting to go there, even though it's so much visited, and still every year is so visited.
I think it'll be once again a tried and tested destination. Everyone loves Times Square. Let's not even talk about it. We know New York. We know exactly what it is. But what is more interesting is that now we get to look forward into 2026, and we can talk about what we're forecasting to be some of the upcoming cities, or some cities that are just going to be more popular than they even were in 2025. And when we look at it, first one on the list, no surprise, maybe France.
Yeah. And maybe this is also, as we said before, for the post-Olympic momentum, we still have that. And because France is just, France. We love the food, the cheese, the baguette, and the baguette, the croissant. Croissant.
What I would add with France is that they also have such good marketing, and it's not coming from your traditional marketing sources. I just saw a video online of the Miss World competition. And once again, the contestants from France said France in a very unique way. And immediately, boom, we were back to trending of maybe 2 years ago when it was like, France! So
yeah, with Miss Universe.
Yeah. And you'll always be in awe of the Eiffel Tower. When I was in France, it was amazing to see during the day, and even weirdly more pretty at night with the lights. So I mean, it's that destination. Second on the list, though, we're looking at Spain, which is forecast with 88 to 90 million visitors. I am not surprised. Spain is up there with one of my favorite countries to visit. And this is interesting to see that it's probably seen that it's going to match France, or even challenge France, thanks to the strong demand for cities like Madrid, Barcelona, and the ability for them to have a year-round tourism, because most places winter is pretty bad, but I do think Spain probably gets pretty mild winters.
Yeah, it's not that cold. So this is why a lot of people go to Spain, but more in the islands, because Spain, there is the Canary Island and also Malaga. They are not too much in the north, so it's not that cold during the winter. So a lot of old people, at least here in Europe, go there to spend the winter time, and I think this is why also a lot of up on the list. A lot of old people go there. Like, I would do that too when I will be old. I don't think there will be, maybe yes, maybe not, but I see myself more on a cold type of warm type of country than cold country.
And this is coming from someone who lives in Italy, whereas in Italy we're talking about cold in winter, but I'm pretty sure you had a pretty good experience in December where it was pretty warm. So
yeah, like sometimes it also reach 30 degrees
yeah,
during the summer. So yeah, but
lucky.
yeah, I don't know. But talking about Italy, we can also see Italy in this list as the first place. So before talking Italy, we have United States, and the United States this year is because there is the FIFA World Cup in 2026. It's one of the countries that host the FIFA World Cup because there is also Canada and there is also Mexico. So yeah, United States always beat up.
I think the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup, is always great for a country to get to host because that means, just like the Olympics, an influx of tourism just before and after the event.
Yeah. And then we have Italy this year.
Yeah.
Because the last year wasn't no, I'm kidding. It was also last year, but this year the reason is a little bit more different because this year we are going to because I'm Italian. We are going like I am going to host the Winter Olympics.
Be careful, you're gonna have people showing up at your door like, hey, you said you were hosting, so
yeah. Where I can stay.
Yeah,
where... Anyway, Italy this year will host the Winter Olympics in Milano and Cortina, two cities. There is in two different parts, like near, but not in the same region. Milan is more in the center of North Italy, and Cortina is more on the northeast of Italy. And are both two beautiful cities, but we'll discover about them a little bit later. A little bit of suspense for later. So stay tuned to know more about these cities. And then we have again Turkey in the middle of Asia and Europe, so it's a trade point for many business. And the all-time favorite, Japan, always here and always will be here.
Yep, we never lose out on Japan. Another city that's got great advertisement, great marketing to visit. From the anime they put out. I mean, you watch anime, you want to go to Japan. There's no other way about it. It just looks like an amazing place. And the food is really good. And as we said, it's one of the fastest growing destinations globally. Even though it's a little collection of islands, hey, they still want more people visiting. So I do think that there's one event that they're probably looking at.
Yeah. And we are going to talk about it later.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Exactly. And now we're going to discover prediction of which cities are going to be the most visited of 2026. And of course we have New York City. We don't need to talk about why. And we have also London, and we also have Paris, and we also still have Bangkok because we all love staying there at the sun, taking a warm bath. And then we have Tokyo, and Tokyo is also because in 2025 there was the Expo, and still there are the postpone type of tourism that want to go there because still even though Expo is not it's not on right now, but you can still visit part of the Expo. So I think that a lot of people will be interested to go there also for this reason. And then we have Milan. I don't know this city, never been to Milan. Well, Milan will be hosting the Winter Olympics and also many fashion week and also design week this year as always, but the main event of this year is the Winter Olympics. And Milan is just is a city we call here the Italian New York because it's just similar is a big word, but in some ways similar to New York because it's just a center of many business and attracts a lot of tourists for many reasons. And when you go to Milan, you of course want to see the Duomo. It's a masterpiece. You go there and you say, wow.
Yeah. It is
Many.
no, it is beautiful. I say one top up there with one of the best cities I visited. So I would definitely say Milan deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I used to live there, because I lived there for a year, and it was funny to see the tourists walking up from the tube on the underground,
Yeah.
and you say, "Wow!" when they come out from there. It's like, that's so funny.
It is so amazing. I don't know how else to put it. Milan have like the underground, the metro connects right, and you can walk out into almost into the circle, like the Plata in Domo. So when you come up the stairs, you would never expect to see this massive cathedral. So I was definitely one of those tourists who was like, "Oh my goodness, what is this place?"
And on the side of the Duomo, there is this part of the city that I really like, which is the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele, which is full of chic boutique. We have Gucci, we have Balenciaga, and all these type of brand that are pretty expensive, luxury brands. And we also have a lot of luxury type of restaurants because a lot of people go there to a certain restaurant to try the full meal with many dishes, and you spend a lot of money, but they say that it's worth it. I don't know. I never did that. Never done it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it's worth it if you have that disposable money, like that disposable income. I do think that Milan will always attract a very affluent kind of traveler just because of the events that you expect to have in Milan. They're very prestigious. So yeah, but it must be interesting also having lived there and finding those hidden restaurants that are quite cool as
and
well.
if we want to talk about more hidden gems, a lot of tourists say that once you see the Duomo, that's it. That's all Milan can offer. But it's not true. Milan has full of many monuments that maybe are not that known. But for example, one of the part of the city that I really love, the cemetery, the monumental cemetery. You can go there. It's a park full of tomb and crazy. Yes, but it's beautiful. They are beautiful. The statue and how the garden is just a masterpiece, and also it's so big that you can like spend an afternoon just walking in a cemetery. Maybe it's some kind of creepy, I know, but it's really nice to see all this statue because there are some statues that are really creepy. I have to admit it, but some of them are really like a masterpiece. It's like, whoa! I would love to have a tomb with that.
Yeah. If when I'm buried, put me in that cemetery. That's where you want to be buried. But it's definitely a beautiful city.
And the other city which will gonna host the Winter Olympics is Cortina. Cortina is in Veneto, in the north of this region, and Cortina once, back in the days, already hosted Olympic. They had to renovate the buildings and everything for this year Olympic, and I cannot wait to not be there because it's gonna be pretty pricey because every city in the Alps, I think every city on the mountains is really pricey, at least here in Italy and also in Europe. And but even though Cortina is a small gem because you are in the middle of the Dolomites, it's really nice to go there and simply see the view of the mountains and enjoy playing with the snow and enjoy the typical food that there is there because it's really warm. I mean, you can eat the most delicious polenta that you ever gonna taste, with the most delicious deer ragu that you're gonna taste. I mean, I'm just hungry right now. I'm just thinking about it.
No, I'm with you there. I do think that that's going to be a beautiful, not only event, but it's probably hosted in one of the more beautiful cities, even though Italy has a lot of beautiful cities.
But Italy is beautiful. This is the reason why it's always on the list.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think the last one on the list is Los Angeles, but that's mainly because of the FIFA World Cup. It's one of the hubs, and hey, it's got a long-standing reputation for the home of entertainment. Any city that features in multiple movies, multiple songs, multiple pop culture would always rank high on
That's
these
for
lists.
sure. And I mean, if I don't remember wrong, Los Angeles, there will be the Oscar Award this year, as always. Like it's always there. So if we're gonna talk about the main global events of 2026, we're gonna start with the Chinese New Year. Is this year, but next year is gonna be the horse year. Yay, horses!
So if your spirit animal is a horse, it's your year.
Exactly. I don't remember which year I am. Which animal I am. I think I'm
I think I was
a sheep.
I was also something like a dog. Like I was nothing too interesting.
I was looking forward like being a snake, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like, oh, you're a dog. So.
Nice. I'm a sheep.
Yeah.
Bad.
But that is a good. I think the Chinese New Year always a global event.
And also, it's really nice that even though you are not in China, you can still celebrate it with them in your own country. At least here in Italy, all the Chinatown in the various cities, they always create small shows with the dragons, and it's really, really nice to see it. I remember when I went to see this in Milan, it was just beautiful, and I was in awe by it. And then of course you can eat the typical food of them, and you have the perfect excuse to eat a lot of Chinese food during the time of year.
Goodness, that's what we want, good food.
Yeah, and then we can follow with the Super Bowl on the 8th February in California.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Bad Bunny. It's gonna be a good halftime show. Super Bowl's always a great event, always gonna pull in big crowds, and I personally don't watch American football, but I'll watch I'll try and get the halftime show because it's always a good performance.
Yeah, I mean, there is a reason why it's so famous. Even though we are not from United States, we still hear about Super Bowl, and we're gonna still see all the clips on social media about Super Bowl, about the performance of Bad Bunny, and all the sketches of other, things that are gonna happen on the Super Bowl. So
yes.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to follow it, you're gonna follow it. It's there.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. No, it's definitely it's a world event, even though it's not about the football.
Yeah, and even is a little bit of a niche type of event. Maybe if you're a movie fanatic like I am, the Berlin International Film Festival will take place from the 2nd of February to the 22nd of February. It will be really interesting to you. It's one of the main events when it comes to cinema and movies and entertainment, and I think it's pretty important to include this to our list of the main events. And also because Berlin is really, really a nice city, really particular city. There is the contrast between East and West Berlin. There's still, nowadays, you can still see it. And I think that it's worth, a little trouble to see how it's still this contrast nowadays.
Yeah, true. And I do think Berlin arts, everyone knows Berlin as one of the cities that is mainly focused on arts, be it musical. So I'm not surprised that it's also going to be film. So I would definitely have that high up on my list. If I was looking to visit Germany, this gives you a perfect excuse.
And still, the Winter Olympic Games, this will be taking place from the 6th to the 22nd of February. And then we also have the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco from January, February, in these 2 months.
By the time we're looking at this, we've actually seen the conclusion of this, which was a beautiful competition that Senegal ended up winning. So most of Africa is pretty happy with that. Unless you're North African, you're not too happy with that outcome. But the rest of us Africans love that Senegal won. So it's a great tournament. It brings the countries together. This year, it was interesting to see who was trending. I think Congo, the national team from Congo, was trending because they had this one fan who had dressed up as one of their leaders, Patrice Lumumba, and he had the hairstyle. And what he would do was that throughout the whole game, for 90 minutes, he would stand on his chair in a salute. And it was almost like a silent nod to one of their past leaders or freedom fighters back in the day. So it's always a great moment for teams in teams in Africa in general to show their culture and their appreciation.
That's nice. We see more hidden anecdotes that we can add to our talking. That's really nice. I didn't know that. Like, that's good.
Yeah, no, it's a very unique competition, and it is so colorful. I mean, if you look at, there is noise from the minute the game starts till the end, because there's people like dancing, singing. They come in with all kinds of instruments and almost this traditional wear, and the football fans are fanatics. So you can imagine it's a 24/7 party.
Yeah. And when we talk about football, I mean our football, like soccer. Yeah, not American soccer, not American football. For all the people that are going to listen to like football with the black and white type of ball.
The round one, right?
No. Talking about colorful events, the Rio Carnival. And this year, Carnival will be from the 13th to the 18th February, and is 4 days full of color in every single city that celebrate Carnival. Also here in Italy, we have many type of ways of celebrate Carnival. We have in Venice with old mask, traditional mask, but also in Germany there is just a beautiful Carnival. If you want to experience one, you should go to Cologne. But the most music and musical and the most colorful and the most outstanding type of carnival and most known around the world is Rio. And this is why you should go to Rio and watch it and see it and celebrate it with them and dance with them, especially because full of music.
I do think Carnival is a great thing to attend. Everyone knows about the Rio Carnival. I do think that's high on a list of things you must do at least once in your life, is go to a carnival, and if you really like it, go to the Rio Carnival in Brazil, because that is a unique experience. I would love to do that.
I mean, now I have to put it on my bucket list. I wasn't sure, but now I have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's a good one, and it's also because of not just the carnival feeling, but the floats, the participation, the costumes. Like it's so unique. It's
every year is so different and so unexpected. You are like, wow, they created this last year, but this year, wow, amazing. How can they do that?
It just gets better and better. Oh, it's great. I think the next one we can talk about is the SXSW South by Southwest 2006 Music Festival. cultural and technological festival in Austin, Texas, which is the 12th to 8th March 2026. So,
Interesting. And also, maybe not a lot of people know about it, but it seems like
yeah.
it's really famous, especially in the America part of the world. And if we move to Africa, we're gonna talk about the FESPACO, the Festival Pan-African du Cinéma et de la Télévision de this name.
Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Very unique city name. Burkina Faso is a lovely place to visit, and I do think anything that is related to cinema is gonna be a good time.
I mean, how can you, like, you can go to visit the city and then have, your ticket to go to a movie, and that's perfect. I mean, paradise for me.
Anything that's city tours and movies is paradise.
Yeah, and food. Let's add
food
because
yeah. Yeah. And once again, another big music festival, the Lollapalooza, is going to be taking part in Sao Paulo in Brazil, and that's the 20th to 22nd of March. So, wow, that's going to be cool. I didn't think that Lollapalooza would be heading to Brazil, but hey, that is a great place for a party. Anywhere where you're telling me there's going to be a party and it's going to be Brazil. Yeah. Yeah, happy with that.
In April, we don't have much, but in May, we have a lot of events, especially here in Europe. We have the Venice, it will start the Venice Biennale of Art of 2026, and it's a full Biennale, so it's gonna last few months. It starts on the 9th of May and will end on the 22nd of November 2026. And then we also have the Cannes Film Festival. It's just 2 days, but it's one of the festival most important when it comes to entertainment. And of course, our favorite, the one that we love with, with our heart. And even if it's a little bit, let's say, particular this year, but still we're gonna see it and see how this time will go. The Eurovision Song Contest will take place in Vienna, and it will be from the 12th to the 16th of May. And I can wait to see what they bring to us this year. I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, last year was great. This year is going to be even better.
I hope for it, even though there are not a lot
we
of
hope
participants.
So. There's world politics are trying to affect it, but music will win. Music will win.
Yeah, I think one of the slogans is united by music. So I really hope that we'll be united by music.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And then, but the fun continues, because then we go into June and now we're talking about sports. We're going to be working with the FIFA World Cup in the Americas. So we're looking at hosting cities in USA, Canada, and Mexico. And that's going to be happening from the 11th of June to about the 19th of July.
A whole month.
Yeah.
Dedicated to football. I love it. I will be there with my popcorn, watching not movies this time, but watching football.
And no, I think it's like at the World Cup. The beauty about the World Cup is that even if you're not a football fanatic, you have to watch the World Cup.
Yeah.
You have to pick a team. If your team didn't make it, like us Kenyans, we didn't make it, you just support the closest team. I'll probably be going for Senegal, see how well they do. And you just follow a team. You've got to enjoy the month of sports.
And so I will cheer for Italy and also for Panama, because it is my other country. And why not? My uncle is from Senegal, so I will also team with Senegal.
Oh yeah, that's it. You need like at least 3 teams that you're happy that they go through, and then you need 3 teams that you don't want to go through, just to make it interesting.
And the funny part is when both teams that you love are fighting. You're like, okay, now Italy or Senegal? I really don't know. I want.
You're like, yes. I mean, no. I mean, yes. Who's scoring? No, I'll be happy. Of course, we all know that a lot of people probably will be hoping England don't go anywhere because it's.
Yeah, I don't know why. Also in Eurovision, the same thing. Like England, we don't like England. It seems it's hated by everyone. What happens to England?
Honestly, if I hear it's coming home again, I'll lose my mind. So I'm tired. But yeah, no, it's going to be a great competition.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Also because, this year is interesting. There are 3 countries that are gonna host the FIFA. So I don't know. A lot of tourists. I don't know how they do this. The tourists, they go one day to Mexico, and then the other day to Canada, and then the other day to America. What? How? How?
I think the one to look out for is the fixture in Mexico City. That's the one I would target because that city sounds beautiful. I think it's definitely pool games. Pool games will be held in certain pool games held in Mexico, certain ones in Canada, like Vancouver and LA in the States. But it is a very weird format for a World Cup to be held in 3 different countries. So we'll just see how that goes.
Yeah, and if we're gonna continue with events on June, we have the Pilgrim of Eid al-Adha, and of course, as we said before, it's just a really big event for Muslims. And then we move to July with another sports event. Then maybe this interests more you. I don't know why. Maybe.
We gotta talk about the rugby. So there's gonna be a lot of rugby happening in July, and it's the Rugby Championship where you'll have New Zealand and Australia and South Africa playing each other. And actually, at the same time, you're gonna have New Zealand going on tour to South Africa for a 4 test series, which is like, it's just beautiful. This gives you an opportunity to go to South Africa because you don't really need an excuse to visit South Africa, but it is a perfect place to get a bit of tourism in. Like, for example, you go to Cape Town and you get to hang out by the beach and then watch some good sports. So I definitely think that July, we're going to set it aside for sports that involve not only round balls, but also oval-shaped balls. So it's going to be a great month.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be at least for a year in Europe, a summer full of sport. But we still continue with sport because in September and October we have Asian Games taking place in Aichi, Nagoya, in Japan, from the 19th of September to the 3rd of October. I mean, also here a lot of games, a lot of sport. We like it, we love it. It's a year full of sport if you think about it, because we have the Winter Olympics. Yeah. And then we have the FIFA World Cup, and then we have the Rugby Championship, and then we have the Asian Games, and also we had the Africa Cup Nations. So yeah, it's a year full of sports. Who would have expected that?
No, honestly, I'm all for it. This year, if we can focus as much as we can on sports, I'm happy. It's a good year.
It's a good year, really good year. And we're gonna end with something more political, let's say like that. The last events that we have, main events, important events, are the COP Climate Conference that will take place in Antalya, Turkey, from the 9th to the 20th November of 2026. And then the last event is the G20 Summit that will take place in Miami on the 13th and the 15th of December. And then, of course, there is Christmas, and then the New Year. And that's it.
We do it all over again.
Yeah.
No, I think this is a great list when it comes to looking at the events we're going to have running throughout the year. And honestly, it makes me excited. So when I think, of course, of the last 2 events, we're talking about the climate conference and the GT summit. They're a bit more political, but that's not to say that the rest of the year has to climax in just those two events. I would say what I'm looking forward to is probably all the sporting events and maybe a few of the Eurovision.
Of course. We're gonna do, of course, an episode about Eurovision similar to the one that we did last time, but with a little bit of a twist, let's say like that.
Yeah. No, it's great. Well, I've enjoyed running through what we should be expecting for this year, and hopefully we've been able to give a bit of information for everyone.